Come on, let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. For those who don't know, welcome to another exciting and brand new episode of Next Gen Plumbing. I don't know if I should talk English, Zulu, or Sotho. I know we're taking it to a region there in the Free State province, but we'll get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Career opportunities in the plumbing industry are not limited to plumbing only. And even when a plumber is qualified, the career path can divert from doing actual plumbing work to something else. We've seen this, man. We've seen this. And I hope people understand that opening statement, because when people think of plumbing, they think of an overall. They don't think of designations. They don't think of specializations. Apart from the technical side, other career opportunities, I must say. Now, in this episode, we chat to a qualified plumber, yes, PIRB licensed plumber, who's always in the office, just by the way, but is in the other provinces as well. So it means he's up to date with what's happening, who also became a registered facilitator, assessor, moderator, just to pass on knowledge and train the next generation of quality plumbers in South Africa. I'm talking about a person who's manufacturing, the future of plumbing in South Africa. I've had the great opportunity of seeing him in action with the youngsters in the next generation of plumbing or plumbers. And trust me, they say teaching is not just a career, it's a calling. And he's one person that justifies that statement. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you know again, he's qualified, registered, licensed PRB plumber, also registered facilitator, assessor, moderator at Maluti TVET college. I hope the kids are smiling right now. This is where you guys should be screaming and going crazy. He goes, and his name is quite unique. He's got a very sweet touch to his name, yeah? If we say it in the American style. Ladies and gentlemen, he goes by the name of Mr. Candy Ntabeni. My good sir?
Yes.
How are you?
All right, and you, man?
I'm so good. Candy.
Cool,
yeah.
cool.
Your parents must have been very much spoiled for bits, yeah?
No, this name was taken from my ancestor. My ancestor was a sweet guy.
Come on.
And his name was Shugela, because whenever people came at home back in the days, he would treat them so well.
Come on.
So it's more of a nickname he was given by people to say, he's so sweet like sugar.
Hey.
So my father was given this, his ancestors' nickname, and then he modified it to the current,
the way of saying it, not my sweet or sugar.
Yes, and gave me the name Candy. So that's where it's all emanating from.
My brother, thank you so much, and thank you for sharing that history. I think you're the only Candy I know in Africa. Boy, now that's unique. Yeah, let's thank the ancestors for that one. But jumping into it, my good sir,
yes.
I know you come a long way, to join us today. First and foremost, thank you for your time. You don't just represent yourself. You represent a fantastic institution
More than welcome.
that I've visited before. And ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about professionalism and passion from youngsters being, dedicated to the future of plumbing, I got to give it to Maluti TVET college. But we're going to get into it. Candy, let's talk about you.
Yeah.
I mean, we mentioned that you're qualified. You did your trade test, which was formerly known as a Red Seal.
Yes.
You are a licensed PRB plumber.
Yes.
You do CPD activities, just to
Yes.
remain there. You renew your license every year. But apart from that, you're in the educational side of plumbing, which I have a huge passion for. Let's talk about Candy. You've already given us where the name comes from, but let's talk about you. When and why did you decide to become a plumber out of all the things you could have done? And where did you undergo training? What was your journey like for those people who don't know who you are?
All right. Probably let me begin here. I wanted to be a pilot. The reason why I wanted to be a pilot, I had this passion of science. So when I was growing up, I was someone who was so much intrigued in, scientific things.
Come on.
So now looking at this huge thing floating in the air, I said, you know what? I want to control it one of these days.
Come on.
So now myself growing up, with parents who are more like old school, there was no, inspiration from my parents' side, and that other extra push, probably that you can get to parents of this generation.
Come on.
So as I grew up, it died and it died. But eventually, I wanted to be like that.
Yeah.
So what then happened is that my aunt was a nurse, and she was always smart, and she always looked beautiful and everything else. She was moneyed. So I then said, you know what? I can be a nurse.
Come on.
Like my aunt.
Come on. You didn't even worry about the stereotypes.
No. Because every time when she visited home, when I wanted some little pocket money, she would easily give me without any,
She looked like she was set.
So I envied that, and I wanted to be like that.
Nice.
Fair and fine. And most of the guys, they always laugh at me when I say that. They say, you wanted to be a nurse and eventually became a plumber.
Yeah.
So you really wanted to, keep on holding or dealing with human excrement.
Yes.
When you're a nurse, when someone is sick and terminal ill, you're always pampering that person, looking after that person, and end up handling the feces and everything
100%.
else, which is also in the plumbing.
100%.
So they always laugh at me at that. So now, when I when I finished school, eventually wanted to train as a nurse, I had to gather some funds for me to go for training and everything else. So in my quest to become a nurse, I then went all out looking for funds and everything else. And then I started working in the construction industry. Back in the days, I was working in the construction, doing all the dirty construction work. And then it so happened that I hooked up with plumbers on a construction site, and then I started working with plumbers. So what made me to all of a sudden change my mind is that science thing. You see, especially when you look at the plumbing drawings, the architectural drawings.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that.
Yes. So that inspired me because from my background, when I was growing up, I liked drawing. Yeah, I can see that in my daughter. She likes drawing also. I can see that she took it from me. So I like drawing. So now, on a construction site, seeing these drawings and these architectural drawings and everything else, how it's joined together, and plumbing coming in, all the piping and everything else coming in, I had so much interest in this. Furthermore, plumbing on its own is science because there is nothing that you can do without applying physics and chemistry. So as someone who had this interest in science, I saw it in plumbing.
Come on.
So the flow of water, everything else, there's quite a lot. Plumbing is just science on its own.
100%.
And I always tell my students that, you know what, when we are doing drain laying, I always tell them that, you know what, there is something so special about feces. I always tell them that feces are so clever. Where there is no science, where there are no calculations, feces will just say, I am not going anywhere.
I'm not going there.
I am not just going to move the drain. So now, when you are doing your drain laying, there is a lot of science that you need to take into consideration. The calculations, your gradient, your topology, name them. All those things. So now, when the drain starts flowing smoothly and everything going, that's pure science on its own. Man. And also, when the water that we drink from as far as the valve dam, all the connections and everything, it's all science. It does not just happen. So we see there the push and pull, which is gravity and pressure coming in there. Fluid, what you call dynamics of fluid, the flow of water, turbulence, laminar flow, and all of those things. There's a whole lot of science. So that's where my interest was.
Oh man!
In the beginning, and I saw it there. I said, you know what? I can pose to be a pilot. There is science here. Plumbing,
even
on its own.
Even on the plane, there's a toilet. My good sir, you know. I have to jump in here. I'm so fascinated because you took me from your journey. You know, you actually painted such a perfect picture. I could see you as a child looking at that plane, saying, "I'm gonna do that." Then seeing your aunt walk in and you know, you're like, nurses, they're successful, I'm going this route. And then coming into the science of transporting water, which is plumbing, like you described it. I think you should trademark it, I'm going to use it. You're going to see it a lot on our social media. And
more than welcome.
Seeing where you are right now.
Yes.
Do you remember when you got qualified? Do you remember when you did your trade test or Red Seal, maybe back in the days? Do you remember when you got licensed?
Yes. You know what then made me to become a licensed plumber? Remember, just working on site with plumbers and seeing everything going on.
Yeah.
So now the salary was too little now.
Yeah.
And I could feel that I am able. Now the salary was too little, but then I want to say thumbs up to the guy who really made me to be what I am today.
Come on, mention him.
The guy is Viking Kuna.
There we go.
He is my friend. He's still my friend now today.
Yeah.
He threw me into the deep end. So at some point I was working here in Centurion, just down there, Eldorraine Street.
Yeah.
Just down Eldorraine there. Yes. So I was working with another guy, with another white gentleman, and then he had a misunderstanding with Vicky. So I was his assistant. So he had a misunderstanding with Vicky, and that guy said to me, you know what, Candy, I am leaving this company, Hlokomelo Management. I'm leaving Hlokomelo. This guy, Vic, is not an honest guy. He's full of false promises, things that will never happen. I am leaving. And I want to tell you now, you better also leave, because once I'm out of here, there's no more plumbing here. Yeah. Everything will just die and everything. So I just looked at the guy and said, okay, no, it's fine. I hear what you're saying, but you can continue doing what you want to do. Then he resigned. And the moment he left, Vicky threw me in there and said, you know what? I've seen the potential in you. You can run around.
Come on.
You can go with it. So he then gave me the role of becoming a project manager. At that time, it was, remember, during the 20s, early 20s, South Africa was about to host, was bidding to host the 2006 World Cup.
Come on.
So there was a lot of construction happening there. Yeah. So that's when I was involved in construction, trying to raise money to become a nurse. And then soon after, Germany took it, and it was unfortunate, but still the bidding committee kept on pushing.
Yeah, I remember.
And then eventually we got the 2010.
Yes.
And then boom, a lot of construction was happening. Yeah. So that's where I did a lot of my plumbing work in the construction field, in the run up to the World Cup, high-rise buildings in Johannesburg, and some villas in Sandton City.
Come on.
And I also remember I did something at the White Sea, at the Soccer City Stadium. Yes, the FNB. Yes. I did something there, but not for a long time. So thereafter, after the 2010, and then came solar. That's where the solar industry came in. The idea of solar 100%. Started to come in with Eskom, enrolling a lot of solar projects.
Yes.
So now Vicky got interested in that. Yeah. And then that's why he brought in myself and this guy that I'm talking about. So when the guy left, Vicky threw me in there, and I started working as his solar project manager.
Come on.
I ran around. You see quite a lot of solar geysers in Olive and Hoshbush.
Yes.
Just here.
Yeah.
I'm the one who planted those
Come on,
geysers. I was managing guys to do the work.
Yeah.
And Vicky's, his hometown is in Elim, Giyani. There by
Limpopo.
Pungen. Yes, Pungen. So he had a lot of guys in his home area who were also interested in solar, who were supporting his business.
Yes.
And I could drive and go there by night. All the night driving, go there, pulling lots and lots of solar geysers on the trailer, and then in this other nice town, which is not very much marketed by the government of Limpopo, but our former Reserve Governor and Minister of Finance, Tito, used to market it whenever he's making a budget speech. You would speak about Mahuba Slough. You would speak about those
the beautiful
funny roads.
One of the most beautiful places in the country.
So we had a lot of work in Tsanin and as far as Palabra. So I was going there myself and then get guys, put solar on the top of the roof and show them how to do it and everything else because I had the knowledge. So I was, from there, I then realized that, no, man, I'm getting little salary, but I'm doing a lot. So what can I do to do this? So when I go on the internet trying to apply for plumbing jobs and everything else, they would say, we want a plumbing license. We want a plumbing license, a PRV. And then these offices, PRV offices were behind there. Not here. Because this year was Watersmith, something like that.
It was a plumbing company.
So I went to PRW offices and I met Michelle. I think she's still here. Huh?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We still got a Michelle. Michelle, shout out to you because you made candy, but wherever she is, she's not here, but she's definitely probably still watching this. Yes.
And then I asked, I want to be registered as a PRB plumber. They said, no, for you to be registered as a PRB plumber, you need to have a trade test.
Come on.
I said, oh gosh, trade test. Okay, fair and fine. And I went back. Charlene was also there by that time, but I think you still have Charlene here. Huh?
Yeah, no, still in the industry, but not here.
It's fine. And then I then inquired about the trade test, and I found that no, for you to do the trade test, you have to go do this and do this and do this. So I went through what we call Section 28. Remember, there are 4 routes of becoming a plumber. It's through TVET college, what I'm currently doing with the NCV, and then there's an apprentice, there's CETA training, and there's Section 28, where you get recognized for prior learning and everything. And then you go through some aptitude test, and then after when you have passed, then you will then be given a date and appointment to come and do a trade test at Olifantsfontein there in Inlela. I think it was something around in 2012, somewhere there, if I remember very well.
Come on.
After a long time in the industry. So when I did my trade test at Oliphants, it was a walk in the park because I was someone who was
experienced.
You just did it all. There was nothing new for me there. The issue of laying the drain, putting up a toilet. No, those things were just because I had been working with big things, bigger than that.
Come on.
So,
I love that. You know what, Candy? I actually love that you gave us a full description of your journey. And I hope whoever's watching this, especially a young individual, some people want to come into this industry and, I've just got my trade and I want the money. They don't understand the journey of experience. Remember, if you've got people's lives in your hands, if you make an error in plumbing, it can really damage property, it can harm people or even take lives. For someone to, like you mentioned Oliver, you mentioned Santon, you mentioned Mahuba's Kluftanin. I mean, you've been doing this around the country. You've actually earned your stripes when it comes to experience, but shifting it from doing it hands-on to more into the educational side. Tell us about your interest in becoming a registered facilitator. Someone who's assessing and moderating the youngsters within the educational side. How did you shift from the technical experience and operations on a day-to-day basis to now becoming into the educational side?
What then happened is that what that guy, I've forgotten his name, that white guy. What he told me about Vic, I then now saw it. I said, oh, that white guy was very right.
Correct.
Now.
The character's
Yes.
Yeah. I'm starting to see what I was told. You're like, hey, this man was right.
I hope Vic will laugh at this. So what I then did, I said, you know what, Vic, let me go. You and me, we were friends. I don't know how to fight, but let me just go. So I then left Tlhokomelo Management and joined another Jewish guy.
Okay.
Yes. I joined another Jewish guy from Edenvale.
Okay.
Yes. His name is Ben Slasky.
Okay.
So by then I was qualified. So
Yeah.
Ben Slasky took me and I was his plumbing project manager or plumbing manager, let me put it that way. So I was managing his buildings and there was a site in Florida where I was working for him. So I was responsible for hiring other plumbers, other guys, and then show them how the blueprint, like I told you, the drawings and everything. So now we came at a point whereby the work was delayed. And when the client wanted the structure to be up, it was so late. So now Benny, he ran away from penalty. So what did he do? He then said, you know what? He got rid of us. He retrenched us.
Yes.
Everywhere. And then he put up a private service provider to come and continue and finish. So that because we were working for him. And then he then took another guy. So when I left Slasky, Penny Slasky, I then hooked up with these Chinese guys. His name is Kenneth. He's in Four Ways. And he's based there by Lanseria. Yes, if you're going on N14 to your right, there is Lanseria Airport. There is an estate there, Lanseria Estate. So that was Clean It. So those are the guys who brought me into the world of teaching.
Come on.
So I remember Emic, one of the management in the team, when he was interviewing me, he asked me to say, have you ever taught before? Because the position here, yes, we can see your technical background is good and everything else. But have you taught before? Because this is what you want. You know what? You know what I said to him? As a churchgoer, by the way, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist.
Come on.
So I attend church on Sabbath. So every Sabbath, what then happens is that between 10 and 11, we have classes, what we call Sabbath school class. So I had been a Sabbath school teacher, class teacher. So yes, I did that role in my church. And also I would preach in church. So I said to Emic, you know what? The teaching experience that I have is to teach people in church, in a class, and to preach. And he said, you can preach? I said, yes, I can preach to more than 300 people, and I've done it a million times. And he said, I think we need to take this guy. And then he then asked me, where do you see yourself? I told him, all those questions in the interview and everything else. So they took me a Clean Heat management. I went in there, Clean Heat Academy. I went in there. They took me through everything. They are the ones who introduced me to facilitation. They took me to some courses for everything.
Come on.
And I was brilliant. And I incorporated my technical know-how and this teaching thing. And I developed this passion of transferring knowledge. And what made me have this, very much interest is the background. Because when I was working back in the days in the industry, I would see a lot of wrong things. Like I said to you, I was brilliant in school with science. And the drawings, I would adapt and quickly manage to interpret the drawings. So every time when we were on site, I used to fight with lots of guys. We're not plumbers, all of us. But I would understand the blueprint more than them. So now, this is what, and those guys were becoming jealous of me, and they did not like me because I was far away. I was far away from the management team back in the day. So now management was bringing me closer because realizing that I'm understanding better than others.
You're an asset.
So they did not like it. So now with that in mind, I then realized that there is a lot that people who call themselves plumbers do not know, and which is important. So I had this in me to say I want to impart the skill into the young people.
Candy, I love your story. You know, the reason why I'm letting it flow is because I really want people to comprehend that everything is a journey. Quality goes through process. You know, you cannot rush quality. You have to go through certain things. If you didn't start with where you started, moving around, doing the practicals, learning, seeing drawings, and then shifting onto now getting with the people who brought you into the educational side, you know, and merging the technical with your spiritual teachings. Fella, God's timing is perfect timing. Look at how it all merged. Definitely. To where you are, we wouldn't have Candy today with so much knowledge to share. I have to say this. When we were at Maluti, man, when this man, the kids love him so much, man. And I know the kids are gonna go, that's our guy.
Yes, you know? they love me so much. They know that I'm sweet. And when it's time for fun, I can be the funniest guy in the world. And I always tell my students that, you know what? I'm the funniest guy under the sun, and I'm the sweetest guy under the sun. But on the flip side of the coin, I'm the baddest guy.
Don't mess with me.
If you mess with me, then you see the other side of me, which I don't want to always reveal, because there is always time for everything.
100%.
Like your prophet always say in the Bible to say there is always time for everything. So I always tell my students there's time for fun, right? There's time to play. There's time for us to be serious, and there's time for us to produce. 100%. So you cannot 100%. always be playing. No, we need to be productive, and you guys need to pass. So at times I need to. You
gotta be firm. There's no other ways. While we're still in the educational side, let's talk about what's currently happening. I did mention this amazing organization that you represent, Maluti TVET College. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it as an organization, your role there. For those people who don't know where it's based, tell them about it. You know, when did you start there? How did you get into that section? And what exactly do you do that side?
I then joined EEC. Springs, another TVET college in Springs. So that's where I, grew up. I grew up in the TVET sector because it was more established than an academy. And then when I was there at EEC, I had an opportunity now to meet with big guys in the plumbing industry, like Uncle Nick. Uncle Nick is a good friend of mine. He's a good friend of mine. I met him when I was there. And it was the time when GIZ was sponsoring some activities in the plumbing sector.
100%.
And that was 2015, 2016. And I was part of the team which wrote the new plumbing syllabus.
Come on now, Candy.
I was the only black guy out of
Listen,
those
Candy,
guys.
let's not understate that. Please say that again. You were part of what? Tell them they need to hear
21,
this.
I wrote the syllabus.
Come on.
I was part of the guys who wrote the syllabus of the NOC 21 with the likes of Harold Frenchman, a good friend of mine from Germany. So we did that, and we put everything for the new generation plumbers, so that when they start training and they do everything else, everything is done by the book. So when the first enrollment came, that's when I was joined by Mr. Harry Potter, who is also working with IOPSA now. We were both plumbing facilitators there, and then it was so interesting. That's why I grew, and I managed to do one of the best workshops that is currently at the EEC, there by Artisan Development Center. So from there, my contract with EEC ended. And then I hooked up with Maluti. So that's how I ended up at Maluti, TVET College. It is a very interesting college. It's been 5 years now I've been with Maluti College. And this is all about Maluti College. Maluti College, I'll read this. I'll have to read because
you want to make sure the information is there. We'll probably also put the website.
Otherwise, my principal and my campus manager will say, "Hey, man, you are not talking. You are misrepresenting us." So, Maluti is a multi-site technical vocational education and training located in the Northeast Free State with a total of 8 campuses established in 2002. And we operate under the auspices of the Department of Higher Education and Training, and we also are also accredited with Umalusi and various cities. So we have a logo. So I'm not sure if can I lift up the logo.
You can lift it up, but we'll probably put it in there. We'll get it on graphics as well. Yes.
There is a logo of Maluti. You can see the logo of Maluti, and this is the description of this logo. It serves as a brand identity. This is what it stands for. You see the fingers holding together. They symbolize our rainbow nation, the strength of which lies in our country, and the spirit of the college is captured in the logo.
Come on.
And then development for all and unlimited growth potential. White means, or it stands for peace, transparency, and unity.
Come on.
Sky blue, the sky blue you see there, it reflects the Drakensberg area achievements and freshness in approach. By the way, Maluti is situated in between the mountains. On the west, there is this great Maluti belt which stretches into Lesotho. And on the east, there is this mighty Drakensberg. I think it's the second highest mountain in Africa.
After Kilimanjaro.
After Kilimanjaro, if I'm not mistaken. Then the green reflects the area, fertile lands and growth and development. Gold symbolizes wealth and prosperity. So payoff line, which is a great place, great choice for lifelong learning. So we are saying as Maluti, we offer a lifelong learning, and our vision is to provide excellence, innovation, and success that inspires entrepreneurship and employability to transform lives, especially in the rural areas, because our college is situated in a rural area. So our mission and the strategic goals is to offer relevant and response areas of learning, knowledge, and skills, provide world-class program in partnership with institutes of learning and excellence like you guys and also PRB and IOPSA. So sustain public confidence in Maluti, maintain a world-class future in teaching and learning, provide opportunities for lifelong learning, as said. So yes, quite a lot, accountability, responsible for actions, innovative, professionalism, transparency, sustainability, integrity, upright, and sincere. So there's quite a lot. So I joined this college, let me
show them the logo there. Let me show them the logo as well on my side.
All right. So when it was a pleasure for me to join this college, immediately before COVID. So that's when I started with Maluti. So now this transition. So Maluti is more of my role at Maluti is more of being a lecturer than being a facilitator, because there at EEC and the other academy, I was more of a training officer, right? Who would be having students the whole day, teaching them plumbing the whole day. But now when I went to Maluti, it's a bit different now. I was more of in a school setup where I have to work with a timetable. So it was a bit difficult for me now to adjust to that, to say, how can this, all the knowledge that I have in 50 minutes, in an hour, how am I going to, So it was very difficult to me. And then I had a colleague who was somewhat an inspiration to me. She gave me the tricks and how to go about it, TP for Ken. So she's the one who would show me how to do things, because it was very difficult. Because there is a lot of paperwork there, and there is files, a lot of files, and a lot of marking, something which was not there. So it was a little bit alien to me. So it was so much. And when students fail, you have to account.
That's true.
You have to write why they failed, and you have to put ways or to make up plans. Innovations. How are they going to pass the next time? So she took me through quite a lot of things. She inspired me, and she'll always be my hero. She has taught me one or two things on how to deal with the students in the TVET sector section.
Yeah.
So I can tell you today, I am a superstar because of some of those things that I got from her and some of my colleagues. All right. And then there at Maluti, I have managed to have 60, plus or minus 60 students going past level 4.
Come on.
So it was before I came, I am told that it was rare to have a level 4. So what basically happens is that when students come, they come in as level 2, a level 3, and a level 4. So for you to go to level 3, you have to pass level 2.
Yes.
For you to go to level 4, you have to pass level 3.
Yeah.
So just a couple of days, I was speaking to one of my first students at Maluti, Mulebhen. She was saying that it was difficult in the days for you to go through. It was tough. She mentioned how many times she repeated level 3 and everything else. So after a long time, there was no level 4 passing, going into industrial or apprentice. As I speak right now, I have a number of students who are in Kronstadt and are going to go to Northwest from my hands, from my class, who pass level 4 and are going to they are doing their apprenticeship. So level 4, I have plus or minus 60 in the 5 years that I've worked with Maluti, that have gone through the system, which is a very good achievement there, as it were. And I've also achieved quite a lot. There are, programs that have been brought. SASOL have come in with some programs within the TVET sector, and GIZ have come in there. So we were participating in those programs as lecturers from different colleges. So at some point, I managed to come out best when all the lecturers in the group that I was, they said, no, this guy is extreme. There's nothing which humbles an individual when a group of intellectuals and experts can point out to say, no, this one is a shoulder above the rest. And I won an edge board, a very big screen, a 65-inch edge board from Maluti TVET College. It's there lying there in the marking center of our campus. So, and also quite a lot that I've achieved for the college or for the campus as it were. And then I've managed to bring companies to come, and Cobra, I've managed to bring Cobra. There's these guys from Gabarit. They've come to our campus, and PRB, they've come to our campus. All is because of my, networking and interaction with the industry and the knowledge, knowing people here and there and knowing the buttons to press and everything else. So hence things are happening. As we speak right now, one of these days, my principal sent me from an inspiration from our sister college, Flavius Mareka. Right. They are registered with IOPSA. So now the principal of Flavius Mareka inspired my principal, Ntabeni. So, and then one day there was an event in 4 Ways, right? And then Ntabeni sent me to 4 Ways with other lecturers to go and attend that function. So when I came back, I wrote a very long report, right? And on his desk, it was there. And he went through it. And he said, no, Mr. Ntabeni, I've heard you, because there I was telling him the benefits of being part of IOPSA. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. As a college, how we're going to benefit. And then he was so pleased with that and he liked that and said, you know what, join this. I want to be an affiliate of IOPSA. So we went through all the paperwork, and then I applied everything with IOPSA. And then IOPSA then said, no. We can see everything else fine. But there's something which you don't have. You don't have an accredited workshop. So work on that. So currently I'm working, just a few days ago, last week, I had a tender briefing where I invited quite a number of architects to where I showed them how the workshop should look like.
Yeah,
okay,
this is the vision.
Yes. But which is according to QC2O standards and everything else.
Yeah.
Over and above, Maluti is a very tops college. Let me put it like that. Okay, we have a very serious curriculum manager, Sister Emily.
Yes.
I like calling her Emily. She keeps everyone tiptoeing.
Come on.
Now with the files, and she wants everything to the point, quality. All right.
Yeah.
And then so with all that makes everyone on his tiptoes to make sure that everything is done up to standard. The planning, your planning, lesson plans, and everything else, your work schedule, what have you done, and everything else. Although it's very much taxing and difficult task to do. So all those things, they have made Maluti to be where we are, because we are seated at number 4. Last year we were number 4 countrywide.
What?
And yes, in the NCVU program.
Come on.
And we are doing good. We are doing good with the
Yeah.
support that we are getting from our management, from the principal and everything. We are doing good.
Yeah.
And also we have a new CFO who is so we can not only depend on the textbook and a word of mouth. Of course, I know myself. I know myself what I'm talking about because I'm from industry, all right? But now, these students that are not from industry, they don't know anything. So now if you speak and speak and speak, of course, I rely on that TV that I told you that I want to show them on the YouTube and everything. But so at times you need to be hands-on. So he supports us. There are really changes. We are going the rightful direction, and we are competing with guys like Northlink, guys like Bollard, guys like College of Cape Town, big guys in the TVET sector.
Is a big one. I wanted to ask this part before we get into our second or second last question.
Yes.
What separates Maluti from the rest of the country? I know, I've got the privilege of going on our road shows where we speak to different TVET colleges, When we got to Maluti, just the reception, the energy, the types of students, there's a sense of discipline, focus, respect that I got, and I'm not saying this to buy face. When we were there just before, the students are greeting. When we get there, they're all seated, they're ready. What makes the student of Maluti, the best of the best? I put you on the spot. This was not a prepared one, yeah?
No, it's fine. Not a problem. I think it's the hard work that has been put in by the management and the lecturing staff. Because remember, when you are joining our college, there's a code of conduct that you sign on. So the code of conduct, it tells you everything that you shouldn't do, like wearing a cap in a classroom setup, the way you must wear when coming to school, your behavior, and all those things. So they are made to sign those things, and when they sign, they oblige to follow those things. They take vows to follow those things.
Yeah, you've made a commitment.
Yes, they make commitments. So when they enroll with us, we always remind them and make sure that they follow what they vote for. And at times we punish them and make them, suffer for their sins if ever they sin.
Accountability.
So yes, exactly like we mentioned in our goals there. So I would allude it to what makes Maluti a shoulder above the rest.
Come on.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
My good sir, when we're having such an informative discussion, time just has a way of just, stealing from us. But before we wrap things up, someone who's, I want to tell you this. You're a household brand in the industry. For those who don't know you, I hope you know right now, Mr. Ntabeni, South African plumbing industry. I'm talking about technical experience, who's been on the ground up into the educational sector. You know what? The man loves what he does. And I always say this. You took me to the spiritual side of things. You know, literally the greatest leader to have ever existed for me, you know, irrespective of what faith we believe in, is Christ himself. And that man could have titled himself the CEO of churches, the CEO of this, but he didn't. He said he's a teacher. And you're a teacher because teaching is like planting seeds. You know, you fertile the ground, you plant the seed at the right season, you water it. It's a calling. I can tell you right now, my brother, before I even say anything else, you are doing such fantastic work. If no one has told you this, I'm telling you, you're not a good man. Good doesn't exist when you understand great. You're a great man. And I speak on behalf of many youngsters that you've produced. And I know you're still humble about the impact that you're making in our country. I'm taking it out there. My good sir, how is it important for youngsters to really get a professional education around plumbing? You know, there's still stereotypes around. You can just wake up and unblock a drain with a hose pipe and, hey, you're a plumber. You know, people still underestimate our industry. They don't realize it's a science. They don't realize there's dedication into this. There's a lot of calculation. How important is it for young people to get formal training, to get the education and become professional from someone with your expertise?
No, it is very paramount. Yeah, it is of paramount importance for the young guys who are out there to go through a formal training.
Yeah.
Because when you become formally trained and have the rightful qualifications and documentation, you are recognized in the field. So, but if you are not formally qualified, you are always looked down upon. No matter how much knowledge that you have, you might be skilled and having the idea of, you know, running things as it were. But if you are not qualified, you are limited.
100%.
You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
Yes. So you cannot reach, let the sky be your limit, not anyone else. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. I am of the school, you know, I've worked for quite a lot of companies.
Yeah.
Yes. And I am of that idea to say, why stay at a single company for a long time? To me, it's a no-no. Yes. You know, you need growth.
Yeah.
So when you don't have the rightful, you know, documentation and papers and the education, you will be stuck wherever you are.
You're limited.
You understand what I'm saying? Yes, you are limited. So I'm saying to young guys out there, go and learn about plumbing. Plumbing is the rightful choice career that you can take.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing that you need to know. Yeah. There are only two people under the sun, right, who are guaranteed to have their jobs always, all the time. There is a cook and a plumber.
Come on.
So a cook will prepare food, right?
Yeah.
And then after eating, what follows? Go to the toilet.
100%.
And who does the toilet?
Come
is
on.
a plumber, obviously. There are no two ways about it.
Yeah.
So now you see how great it is to become a plumber.
Yeah.
And over and above, there is this stereotype to say plumbing is a dirty job. And there is nothing dirty with plumbing. It is the smartest thing. Yeah. You know, the reason why plumbing came into place, it was because of growing industrialization. Back in the days, people would go in the bush and everything else. But now, when the first world countries like Greece, China, your Germany, England, when they were industrializing, they would bring more people from remote areas to a town.
So population
increased.
Yeah.
So when population was increasing, there was now need for reticulation. Yeah. Now to put pipes together, bringing in water and take water away. Yeah. Right. So all that is water and sanitation. And sanitation is cleanliness and smartness. That's why you see I'm always smart. Yeah. And when my students, they know me, especially at EEC, they were doubting me. They were saying, this guy, is he a plumber? Yeah. Because I'm always smart. Yeah. I was always smart. But guess what? When I walk into the workshop, I take off my suits, whatever the 2-piece or the 3-piece I'm wearing, and I put on my overall. Yeah. Hey, man, you will see a workaholic. You will see a guy who knows his thing. Yeah. And you will never see me dirty. Yeah. After work, I bath, I make sure that I keep myself clean.
Yeah.
Because plumbing is all about water and sanitation. Sanitation is cleanliness. And cleanliness is next to godliness. As someone who is this spiritual background.
This is where
you understand what I'm saying?
Seven, we gotta put in some effects on this one.
So yes,
this man is preaching.
So plumbing is the career. There's a lot of science there. There's a lot of calculation that goes there. For water to finally get to your tap, for you to open the tap and drink water there, there's a lot of calculation that has taken place there. The flow of water, the reticulation, everything, pressure loss and all those things. Your rain horns and everything, the formulas that are used there is quite interesting. It's science on its own, physics, chemistry, name it, is there in plumbing. So I want to put a challenge to the young guys there to say, do not be laughed or look upon, down upon when you're doing plumbing. Plumbing is a great job. It's a great career, and there are avenues that one can take to become a big guy in the industry. As I was speaking with Vili right now, he was saying that there are 15,000 qualified plumbers. The whole of South Africa, which has 60 million people, and those 60 million people, they need the services of plumbers. Can you imagine 15,000? It's just a drop in an ocean.
Nothing.
So we need to quadruple that number if possible.
Come on.
Yes.
Man. You know what? Today's episode is so informative and it's so educational. I'm learning so much. I mean, you can hear a wealth of knowledge from someone who's got wisdom, and experience within the industry. I do not like this part, Ntabeni, where we have to conclude the show. I wish we could. Man, this episode, trust me, if you have to leave a message to that youngster that's watching this right now, or even someone who's perhaps of the elderly age and just has a passion, because there's no age limitation at this point. If you really love something, your timing has to do with your dedication. That's what I believe in. What message would you want to leave them with? How do we conclude this episode in an inspirational manner? Please, the platform is yours.
Okay. So what I can say to the young people is that whenever you want to become what you are, you need to be dedicated. That's point number one. And be focused. So if there is no dedication, if there is no focus, then you are doomed. Right? Even if you want to be whatever in life, regardless of you want to be a plumber, you need to be focused and dedication. Because through training or whatever, going through whatever you'll be going through to become that, it's not going to be a smooth walk. It's going to be rough. So it needs perseverance.
100%.
You meet different people, different characters, and some will like you and some will dislike you. So you need to keep on focused and know your goal. Aim what you want to do, and then at the end of the day, keep focused, and then you get it at the end of the day. So I always tell my students to say, the most important person is the teacher. Don't hold a grudge with the teacher. Remember, he has arrived and you are still on the way. So just do as he wants, right? And then you raise up your head when you have finished, when you are qualified, when you have reached there. That's when you are going to raise up your head. Because if you raise up your head during the way, you are creating enmity between you and people who should impart, or the person who should impart that knowledge to you. And then at the end of the day, you are creating problems for you.
Come on. Ow, Candy, Mr. Sweet Guy. My good sir, you are so great. I want to give you your flowers while you can still smell them. I just want to say thank you for the value that you're adding into our industry and everything that you've done thus far. I know that God is going to bless you with so many more years, because you are really living a life of fruitfulness. You are planting seeds. You are serving. You are really serving us as an industry. You're serving young people. We have a huge issue of youth unemployment. We have a huge issue of young people not having mentors. We have a huge issue of young people not being focused and dedicating their lives to short-term satisfaction. But as people like you, when we see that you dedicate, you're a hero. You're a hero. You know, some people don't need the Batman, Superman suits. You're really a hero. I've seen you in action. I've seen how the kids love you. My good sir, may God continue blessing you in many, many, many more ways. And
thank you.
This is only the beginning. What's coming your way is it's certainly indescribable.
I greatly appreciate.
Keep up your greatness. Thank you so much to Maluti TVET College for granting us the opportunity to speaking to this man. What a great, valuable asset you have. Born at South Africa, if you don't know him. Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you missed him, he is a qualified, registered, licensed PRB plumber. He's in the registered educational side as a registered facilitator, assessor, moderator for Maluti TVET College. Apart from that, he's a contributor within the plumbing industry of South Africa. He goes by the name of Mr. Ntabeni. My good sir,
yes,
I feel like you want to add one more thing.
Probably before we end the show, this is for the clients.
Yes.
This is for the people we are giving service.
Yes.
Please do not hesitate to pay us. Yes.
Ooh, I love
Do
that.
not bargain. Yes, it is a special service. It is a special duty that we give to you. Please do not bargain.
Yeah.
If you are charged for a service, just go to the bank smiling to do that deposit and to do that transfer, because the effort that a plumber or a service provider would have placed in making your home look nice is quite intricate.
100%.
So please, that is my plea to the clients out there, to the clientele out there, to our customers,
homeowners,
to say, stop.
consumers. When you go to a doctor and you're not feeling well and the doctor heals you, you don't negotiate with the doctor. Okay, doctor, I'm feeling better. Can we just give me half price? No. Why do you negotiate with plumbers? People who are bringing life into your household and taking death out. We are responsible for transporting the most valuable commodity on earth, which is water itself. Water is life. I always give this example. We debate with the electricians about this. Electricity is important. It's energy. But when we had load shedding, we could still cook outside. We can still switch on the gas. But if we have water shedding, let's not even imagine that. If plumbers, let's not even go there. Plumbers decided to strike just for an hour.
Out of discussion, that one.
Out of discussion. We're not gonna finish this conversation. Mr. Kenny, thank you so much.
Cheers,
thank
man.
you so much for
Laka.
man. And thank you, Maluti TVET College. Go onto their website, get their details. I will also probably put it here so that you can see their website. Visit them. To youngsters all around South Africa, if you're really thinking about going into the plumbing industry on a professional level, don't skip any steps. Go to the educational platforms and educational houses such as Maluti TVET College. Go through the process. You'll learn a lot. You'll meet and network with great people like Ntabeni. From my side, man, what a fantastic, informative episode. Trust me, this one is one for the legacy books. It's in the history books. It's done. We said that we're going to do this, and today we did. Ladies and gentlemen, on our side, go onto our digital platforms. On our website, it's www.pirb.co.za. Facebook, Instagram, and X at PIRBSA. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You know what it is. This is called Next Generation Plumbing. AKA Rain D, your number one MC. We close it off in style. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
All right.
Come on.
All right, my nigga. That's my nigga. That's my nigga. Man from Manhattan, you know.